What's up guys, Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Kink Williams. This is Kink's most expensive BMX bike, and if you're planning to ball out, this is the one that you're going to want to go with. We're going to get really in depth here. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly with this bike and help you, no, you, not me, you, figure out if this is the right bike for you. So let's get right into it. Now this was one of Kink's most popular models in 2021, and when they got released in 2022, a lot of people jumped on the opportunity to pick it up. This is a $900 bike and it only comes in one color. It comes in a matte rattlesnake brown, which looks kind of interesting. It's a really sleek matte color. It's not too flashy like the Kink Cloud, and you'll have to take a look at it and tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like this color or not? This is more of a street orientated bike, and it's based around it's Nathan Williams' signature bike. Now the frame on it is a little bit misleading since it's not actually Nathan Williams' signature frame. A lot of the times on a signature model, like the Sunday Soundwave, for example, they're going to use a signature frame. The Sunday Soundwave, they put the Sunday Soundwave frame on there. The Kink Williams bike doesn't actually have the Kink Williams frame, but it does have a handful of aftermarket parts, and this is how Kink is able to release this pro-level bike for only $900, which is a pretty decent price. So next, let's talk about the quality of this bike. This is a full chromoly frame, forks, and bars. You want to go with chromoly if you're serious about BMX because the chromoly parts are going to withstand big drops, big gaps, and overall big riding a lot better than high tensile steel or even tri-moly parts. The rims on the Kink Williams are double wall, and it comes with a free coaster. So if you're doing any spins, any drops, double wall rims are going to take a beating a lot more than single wall. You're going to want to have the double wall rims if you're at that level where you're starting to learn spin tricks. And it does come with 4 pegs and 4 hub guards, so you can grind on this thing right out of the box. A lot of street specific mid-level bikes don't come with pegs or hub guards, so that's going to cost you another, I don't know, $80 to buy those separately and put them on. Fortunately, the Williams does come with pegs and hub guards, so it's street ready right out of the box, like I said, and then it weighs 26.9 pounds, which is not that heavy considering 4 pegs and 4 hub guards, which weigh a lot. So overall, this is a really high quality bike, and we'll talk about the Dougsterbob score and how it scored in quality in a minute, but let's talk about geometry. The Williams 2022 complete bike comes in a 21-inch top tube with a 12.75-inch chainstay. Google Dougsterbob size guide to figure out if this 21-inch top tube is right for you. I'm 6'4", I ride 21-inch, but your height and the top tube size you get is going to affect the way that the bike responds to different things. So make sure you just double check that and make sure that's the right size. If it's not the right size for you, you need to look at what bikes you can get that are the right size, because getting the wrong size top tube is something that's really going to set you up for failure. So if this is the right size, awesome. If it's not, quit watching the review and go watch a review on something that is the right size. So I talked about the 12.75-inch chainstay. And what this means is that back end's a little bit shorter than normal. Anything under 13 I consider responsive, just because that's how it is with like the modern geometry of things. This responsive chainstay is going to make spins a lot easier, but the bike's going to feel really responsive and really snappy. So if your main goal is going high and going fast, like Chase Hawk or Chris Fox, you're going to want something with a longer chainstay. This 12.75-inch chainstay is going to be more for snappy and responsive riding like Nathan Williams. Speaking of snappy and responsive, the head tube angle is a very steep 75.5 degrees. Most head tube angles are about 75 degrees. This extra half degree of head tube angle, I guess this way, either way, it brings the front wheel closer to the back wheel, shortening the wheelbase and making it really responsive when you do a turn. It's going to pick up on that turn right away. It's also going to be a lot easier to pop into nose manuals. The offset of the forks play a role here too, but the head tube angle is something that's usually overlooked. So this is a pretty responsive head tube angle. It's going to accommodate that 12.75-inch chainstay and making this a really responsive bike. The standover height is 9 inches. This is mostly preference, and this is about average. This is where most most standovers are. You can grab the seat for toboggans, you can kick it for tail whips, like it's not that big of a deal, and most of it is preference. And 9 inches, okay, it's 9 inches, that's all you need to know. All right, let's talk about the Dougsterbob Scores. This is a scoring system that I created to rank bikes based on how good they are for street, park, dirt, how good their quality is and everything like that. If you want this, click the link in the description, put in your email address, and then I'll send you the link to the score sheet. This has, like I said, over 80 different BMX bikes that you can compare based on how good they are in street. You can sort it by street, you can sort it by park, and see all of the high scoring bikes right there, and then just click the link and buy it. It's so simple, and you need to do that. But the Williams scored a 9.25 in street. We're gonna round this down to a 9. It comes with those 4 pegs, it comes with those hub guards, it comes with a free coaster. It's a high quality bike, it can withstand drops and gaps. This is a really solid bike, and especially for street. In the park section, it scored a 5. This is a pretty decent score for park. Obviously, it scored a lot better for street, but for park, this bike's really responsive and really snappy, so you can do technical park riding with it. It has holes drilled, so you can put a gyro on it if that's the route you decide to go, and the tires are pretty solid, so it scored a 5 in park. In dirt, it only scored a 1.67. We're gonna round that up to a 2. Bikes that come with a free coaster generally are not very good for dirt riding because you have slack. And when you have slack, it's harder to pedal in between jumps to catch up speed that you might have lost when you case something. So this bike didn't score very good in dirt. There's a handful of other dirt specific options if that's your calling, but this thing's street specific, so obviously it'd be crazy to expect it to do well in dirt. Now the quality is a 7.75. We're gonna round this up to an 8. This is a high quality bike. Like I said, double wall rims, full chromoly frame, forks, bars, fully sealed bearings, aftermarket parts. This is a high quality bike. Now it's not the highest level quality like the We the People Envy or the Sunday Soundwave, but it's a very high quality bike for a lot cheaper than those other bikes that I just mentioned. Now some similar options to this bike would be the Colony Endeavor. This is Colony's high-end bike. It's a really solid bike, full chromoly. It compares in quality to the Williams, and it costs a little bit less. Another option would be the Sunday Street Sweeper. The quality on the Street Sweeper is not as good as the Williams, but the Street Sweeper is a little bit cheaper. I've done reviews on both of those bikes, so make sure that you check those out before you make your purchase, just to see if one of those might be better than this one. Some potential issues that I see with this bike would be really nothing. Actually, I lied. Last year in 2021, there was an issue with the Cinema Free Coaster. It just had some issues with people. It was locking up. I'm sure they've got that fixed in 2022, but to be honest with you guys, that was an issue that I heard about a lot. And so be wary with that when you get this. Just expect maybe you're gonna have to get a different free coaster, get a different cassette, or deal with some warranty things. Now it's not super common, but it did happen a handful of times and it was brought to my attention. So I feel like you guys should know. 2022, I haven't heard that about any of the bikes, but that was a thing in 2021. Now the Williams is going to be for someone who's been riding for a while. I'd say you're at a mid-level right now and you want to progress to a high level. You need a bike that's street specific that can withstand to your level of riding. My friend got this bike after he'd been riding for a while. This was years ago. He got the Williams Complete. He loved it and it helped him take his riding to the next level. He had some really unique street tricks and it was a good choice for him. For a brand new rider, this is more bike than you need, and you'd probably be better off with a $500-600 bike that's not quite as expensive. But for a mid-level street-specific rider, this is a really good choice. And would I recommend this bike? The answer is going to be absolutely. If you have this budget, if it's the right size, and if you are a mid-level street rider looking for a bike that can withstand your level of riding, go with the Williams. It's going to be a really solid choice for you, and you really won't regret it. If you do decide to pick up the Williams, I'm going to put a link in the description to where I found it for the best price. It's probably going to be Dan's comp, but if you guys find it cheaper somewhere else, let me know so I can update that and help your fellow bikers out. But for now, hit that link in the description and see where it sends you. Now, if you're still looking, you're still trying to figure out which bike is right for you, I have a free BMX bike recommendation. All you need to do is put in your height, your budget, your skill level, and I will look at that information, I'll make a PDF recommendation for you, and I'll send it back to you with 3 bikes that I think are perfect. This is going to eliminate any issues that you have when shopping for BMX bikes. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Williams. Let me know which review you want to see next, and have a good rest of your day.